Welcome back to Good Moms, Bad Choices. I'm Erica.
And I'm Mila.
Happy Wednesday.
Sorry.
Okay. You all right?
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Happy Wednesday, everyone.
It's hump day, y'all.
How's your day going, dear?
It's going great. I'm in West Hollywood looking at an amazing view.
This is an amazing view. Speaking of deer, we're at the very classy Deer Media studio. And you will see if you're on our Patreon, we are very classy, wearing headphones and everything.
I know. And we are here with Lauryn Bosstick, the host of the Skinny Confidential podcast and just overall entrepreneur, beauty guru,
Author, mama.
Thanks, guys. God. We kicked Michael off.
we were with her husband earlier, and then we told him to get the fuck out.
Yep.
So
This is the only threesome we want today.
I think he was good. He was
Yeah.
like, I'm out.
he was like,
After you blasted him about watching Real Housewives, he's done with you.
He loves Orange County. He loves them all. He loves New York. Don't let any of it get to you. He knows.
I used to watch reality TV, but I don't know. I think I went down a really dark, deep hole when I started watching like Love and Hip Hop. And then I was like, I can't watch any of this shit
I need to
anymore.
watch that. Everyone talks.
Don't.
Okay. Are you sure?
Just don't.
Love Island and that.
Only one
everyone
I
says.
highly recommend is Jocelyn's Cabaret, which
Okay.
is on Zeus Network.
Okay.
And
It's ratchet.
I'm watching it tonight.
It's
you
so
are
Done.
ratchet.
die.
That's how I like do therapy and meditation. I just like
It's
watch
the best reality
trashy.
TV you've ever seen.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it.
Erica's all
Jocelyn's
late.
Cabernet.
It's been on air for like a year. She just caught
I
up.
don't watch TV. I'm old school. I don't know. Anyway, so on our show, we typically, well, every episode we pull a card, just to kind of see what the spirit is feeling on this episode. So I just pulled a card, and it's the Five of Pentacles, and I really wanted to just like put it back because I don't really like this card.
Why don't you like the Five of Pentacles?
Well, it says Five of Pentacles, financial hardship. However temporary, it could be on the way this Wednesday.
Yuck. We don't like this card.
Wait, it says what on Wednesday?
It could be on the way. Could be on the way. So
No, I
brace
don't.
yourself for some bad news. What really matters, however, is not what happens, but how you react to it. You can fight your way through this relatively easily easily if you get creative about ways to increase your income and decrease your outgoings. Key interpretations: emotional or financial troubles. Okay, so it doesn't have to be finances because my bank account is looking decent these days, so I need to just chill the fuck out. Inadequacy, poverty, scarcity, or worry. I don't know. Oh God, wait! I just got an emergency text.
Uh-oh.
Okay, sorry. I just got a note from my daughter's school. My daughter literally goes to the nurse's office like 4 times a week
I mean, I don't blame her.
for like the stupidest shit.
I mean,
Welcome to
Literally,
6
this
years
is
old.
what the text says. Hi, Nurse Cynthia from blank. Go, no emergency. All I saw was emergency. Ari was here. She's okay. Back at camp. Just wanted to check in with you. Please give us a call when you can. Like, why? She's fine.
why do we even need
I
to
don't
know that?
Because people like to worry mothers. Like, Jesus Christ, leave me alone. Anyway. So that card, I don't know, does that speak to you in any way? Do you feel...
That really pissed me off. So I looked at another one.
I'm glad you looked at another one.
I didn't get another card, but I did need some more
insight on that card?
Yeah, because I'm pissed. It says, you may have recently lost your job, your home, or your financial security. You no longer feel safe because it has all been stripped away from you in one blow. Your ego may also be bruised, especially since success often correlates to financial wealth. Losing either can be a humbling blow to your self-esteem and sense of self-worth. The upside is that this is a minor arcana. I don't know how to say this
Archaic?
word. Arcana card with temporary effects rather than a major arcana. So there's 2 sets. Like within a tarot card deck, there's minor arcana and major arcana, which has longer term impact, and the other one's more emotional.
So this is short.
This too shall pass. Okay, so what my witchiness is telling me is this is not finances for us.
Okay.
Maybe something has changed and is making you question your security or what you would generally associate with your security. But what it's telling us is that you need to really tap into your own source of independence, your own source of security. Don't look outwards. Maybe it's not like, as we all know, finances go up and down. Shit happens. Look at Bitcoin. But like your source of security is actually inward. That's what I'm taking from it.
I feel like that's the theme. That should just be the theme.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
So we usually ask our guests to share an affirmation.
Okay.
Is there any affirmations that you would like to share with our listeners today?
I think my affirmation in all areas of my life would be don't settle. I think when it comes to a relationship, for me, I'd rather be in a relationship that is working on, all tiers, or single. There's no in between for me. And I try to approach every area of my life with that. It's like, how can you be the best version of yourself in whatever area that is? And I think a lot of us tend to settle because of society's expectations. We talked about this on our podcast. I think people want to check this box because society tells them they need to. And sometimes I think it's just better not to settle.
Right. Amen.
And that kind of goes with the card, right?
Ooh, witchy.
The security, like you settle because, this seems safe. This seems secure. Bill is cool. He has a good job, but Bill's not it.
Bill's not it.
Just because Bill has a good job doesn't mean Bill is getting your panties wet before you come home. You gotta, don't settle because it's safe.
Bill's got to be funny. Bill's got to have a big personality. Bill's got to have big other things.
Big bank account.
Bill's got to be fun. You got to be childlike. Bill's got to have a lot of things.
He has to be emotionally mature, feminist.
Yeah, all the things.
Amen.
Yes.
Where's Bill? Where the fuck is my Bill?
Watch fucking Housewives.
Yeah.
With me.
Yeah, you always, they peripheral it. They actually don't watch it. They act like they're not watching, but they really are.
Clearly.
Of course.
I mean, he's knew the whole storyline. He knows it better than I do.
So you've had Skinny Confidential. I was researching you a little bit, and you started it in college, right? And now you've built this entire, I would say, empire.
Thank you. I have a lot more to do, but that's very nice.
I know, but I feel you, because it's really hard for me to celebrate my wins, but you're killing it.
Thank you. That's very, very nice, especially coming from both of you. You guys have built an incredible community. I've had Skinny Confidential for 13 years.
Wow.
So I started blogging. I was broke, no money, bartending. I was going to school full time, teaching Pure Barre and Pilates. And this was when blogging was not cool. There was no Instagram. And I just felt that the sorority system at my college was fucked, because I got accepted to a sorority, which is what you're, in quotes, supposed to do at the school I went to, San Diego State. And I remember I arrived the first week because I had no friends there. And I was like, I'm going to finally get friends. And they said, okay, $800 a semester. And I said, what are you talking about? $800 to have friends a semester? I can't afford that. I was making no money. And I thought, okay, how can I do this online for free and not charge people and meet people and connect women everywhere? And a blog not only sounded like a good idea, it sounded like it was something I could build a brand off of. And
so
do
then
this.
You did have the brand in mind when you created it. It wasn't like you knew that you were what you were doing, essentially.
The whole time I was like, I'm building a brand that first off, it was I'm building a community, and off that I wanted to build a brand that the community wanted to go to. The blog was definitely the mothership and the tipping point of that, but I knew that I had to lay the foundation with the blog to build the brand, if that makes sense. Just like how you guys have done with the podcast. The podcast is the foundation, and you guys are able to build your Slack channel in Costa Rica and your jewelry and your merch. You have to build the foundation first. So I went into this, and I think you guys probably did this too, with an intention not to make money right away. I think nowadays people are like, how do I make money? And that's the wrong question that you should be asking yourself. I went in with intention to provide value to a community and connect them, and that was it. And so what I would say, if you're starting out and you want to be a podcaster or a blogger or whatever, get a side hustle. And everyone always tells you, okay, go work 100 different jobs. I completely disagree with that. I think you should go work in the service industry, so you can work from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock, and then you have your whole day free to work on your side hustle and build the brand that you want to build. So eventually you have freedom and autonomy.
Right.
And so, I didn't make one dime for 3 years. I think that's so important to tell people. Everyone looked at me like I was fucking crazy. What are you talking about? You're building a blog. This 13 years ago. People were like, you're nuts. And I think, it's about not settling for other people's opinion and doing you.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad you said that too, because I think that a lot of people assume that you have a brand and you have followers. It automatically equates to success, automatically equates to especially monetary success. And even me and Mila, like, we didn't see a dime for a while, and I think we just left this podcasting conference, Podcast Movement in Nashville, where we were speaking, and people are there to figure out how to monetize their podcast and like how to monetize, and it's like people, like, they think that you're going to, there's like this secret recipe that we know that's going to make you a millionaire in podcasting. And it's like, yeah, homegirl got $60 million for podcasting, but like that's not the norm in this space. And it takes time, and it takes you showing up every week. I mean, most podcasts, and what I learned, even a fun fact that I learned while I was there, is that most people quit podcasting after their 6th episode.
And then the worst is when they get to 100 episodes and they quit. It reminds me of that meme where the guy's chopping through the boulder. He's digging, and he's literally has to just touch it, and it's the diamond.
Yes,
and he turns around.
Yep.
And it's 100 episodes is even worse than 6. If you're going to commit to building a podcast, a blog, an Instagram account, you have to contribute every single day. It's consistency. I actually think that is the secret. Consistency, value, quality. Like, value is so important. If I'm producing content and it doesn't give the audience a takeaway, I feel like I'm wasting their time.
Exactly. And I would say for sure it's value and definitely consistency. And it's like, you have to be relentless. You have to. I remember I've been acting most of my life, and I'll never forget when I was in this acting class, they were saying that, in order to master anything, you have to dedicate, like, I think it was 1,200 hours or something to your craft. And also that there's no way for you to master. If you have 5 different things that you want to do, you're not going to master all 5 of them. You kind of have to choose. And even I made a choice, when we started the podcast, I have Beauty Blender, which, is my family business and that I love and I work for. And then I was also doing acting, and then I was also doing podcasting, and I was trying to balance all these 3 like major like pillars in my life. And I had to make a choice, and I decided to stop acting for a while because I was like, I'm not gonna master all these things. There's no way that I can. And it was the best decision that I've made, because now I'm here creating something with Jamila, and it's leading me back to that. It's leading me back to, that part of my creativity, but on my own terms, which I'm really excited about. But there's no way that I was going to be able to master this space trying to do all 3 things. So I think one of the big things I always tell people is like, what is it that you actually want to do? And do that and focus on that. Don't try to be good at everything. It's just not possible.
Yeah, I think one of the cool things about what we do is, everyone my whole life was like, you should be a television broadcaster.
But you're beautiful.
No, that's not why I had nothing to do with that. I think they just thought like I'm very comfortable in front of the camera, just like you guys are. That's kind of the career path like everyone said that I should do. Mm-hmm. And I started to think about why I don't want to do it. And I think that this might be why you didn't choose acting. I want to say what I want to say when I want to say it. And I don't want to read a script. I don't want to read a teleprompter that someone else wrote. That sounds fucking boring. And I think the same kind of thing with acting. It's like with what you do now, you guys said it earlier, you're authentically yourself, so you can be honest. You don't have to read someone else's words. And I think that's liberating to be able to monetize and build a brand and build a community. For sure. I mean, somewhat in that way, I do love acting. I do love the building of a character. I think it was just, I've been doing it for so long since I was a kid, and I was going on so many auditions that I knew I wasn't going to get. I was like, this is not for me. Like, also, I was going on auditions for shitty things. I was like, I don't want to do this. And now it's like, I'm like, well, how can I create my own show? Can I just create something for myself? You did it.
Right.
Surprise.
And then it feels authentic. You don't have to like choose between characters. You're like, I would never say this. I would never say that.
So you're a mom.
I'm a mom.
How old is
Wait. Before we go into the motherhood.
Yes.
We have a little game we like to play.
Play
with
the game.
guests called Trigger.
Okay.
And we're just going to ask you random words. We're
Go
going
for
to
it.
spit out random words.
Ask me anything.
And then you respond with whatever comes to mind first quickly.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
The same thing.
Okay, 400 times. Okay.
No, sorry.
Marriage.
Like you want me to just say one word?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, one word?
You can say 2.
I'll say 2. It depends.
Love.
Touch.
Your passion.
Creating.
Your vice.
A skinny margarita with a half rim of salt with extra jalapeno and a weed mint.
Oh my God, that sounds fucking bomb. I never tried the weed mint. What the fuck?
Oh my God. I have the best weed mints.
What? Okay. Sorry. Bad habits.
A skinny margarita with jalapeno with a half rim of salt and a weed mint.
That's a good habit. Favorite sex position.
Taylor, don't pop a boner. Favorite sex position, doggy style with a vibrator.
Ah, that's a good one. Monogamy.
It depends.
Kids.
It depends.
Skinny.
Confidential.
Race.
Race. It's a sentence. I think people need more empathy and to be open-minded.
Good one. Weed.
Mint.
Social media.
Distracting
LA.
but also incredible. LA. Whew. Green juice.
Austin.
Sanctuary.
Cheating.
I want to say it depends, but I'm not going to say that again. Cheating. Knife.
Not knife.
Dick cut off on the floor, dangling.
Okay, Lorena. Favorite porn category.
Definitely lesbian porn. I don't need a bunch of cocks. I have enough cock with my husband. I don't need penis everywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Your childhood.
Non-judgmental.
That's beautiful. Celebrity crush.
Ruby Rose.
Oh my God, me too. She's so
She's
hot.
beautiful.
Oh, she is really hot. Thong or panties?
Fucking the most granny disgusting panties that you've ever seen postpartum, like still wear them.
I wasn't expecting that.
No thong right now.
Biggest regret.
I don't think like that. I know this is longer than, I don't think in regret. I feel like it's telling myself a story that I don't need.
Same. I think my high school quote was no regrets.
I love that.
The early YOLO.
Yeah, that's YOLO.
Boxers or briefs?
On a guy, boxers make your dick look so much bigger. So I would go boxers.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought briefs would.
No, because it like widens it, like because the legs are covered. Like I feel like it widens it. Yeah.
loose.
Taylor, I know you're getting ideas.
Taylor's like, leave me the fuck out of this. Okay, I think that's all that Taylor can handle today.
Taylor just came. He finished.
Oh my God, we're just destroying him back there.
Taylor's dripping. Okay. Keep going. He goes. Keep going.
There's more. No, okay. Anyway.
So I'm curious. You said for kids and for marriage, you said it depends. Why it depends for you?
Marriage, I think, is not for everybody, and I don't think anything's for everybody. I think that we have this like thought that everything is for everybody. It's not. Marriage is. I think it should be a choice. Some people want it. I don't think I would be married if I was not with Michael. I really don't. I think I would be single. And kids, the
How
same
long have you guys
thing.
been married?
We've known each other since we were 12.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
We dated, I put that in quotes, from 12 to 14. My dad caught us in the closet half naked. 14, broke up didn't, went to high school together, but different paths, and got back together at 22. We've been married for, I should fucking know this, about 5 years.
Okay, that brings me to two other ones that I want to get out that I didn't do. Threesomes.
I think it depends how you do it.
Right.
So, like, if I was going to do a threesome, because I've thought about this, I feel like I would want to go to like Amsterdam where it's legal and get like someone who's a professional, because I think that it would make it more seamless.
So you'd hire a sex worker?
Yeah. Legally, like,
No, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, I would hire a sex worker. But I'm also fluid with, like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like to speak in ultimatums about something like that, I don't know. I mean, in 20 years, I could be like, we've been having sex with each other. Like, I don't have like a very yes or no, black or white answer on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm open-minded. Let's put it that way.
What about mushrooms?
Love them. I was horrible postpartum anxiety and depression. And I mean, I microdosed like probably for 3 weeks in a row, and it just made me feel it truly, and for my journey, it cured my depression from postpartum. I feel like it puts stuff in perspective. I think there's a couple of things that if you're going to do it, you should pay attention to. I don't look at my phone. Something about blue light.
You can't
look at your phone. You got to put your phone away.
Mushrooms and phones don't go together.
The frequencies don't match. The phone is like LSD, and like the mushroom is like Mother Earth.
Yeah.
So put your phone away. No TV. Don't sit inside. Be in nature. And most importantly, and this is something I found out the hard way, be with people that are on the same wavelength as you and that have really good energy. Because if you do mushrooms and you're around someone who's like a cockroach, everyone knows what I'm talking about. It kind of like ruins the experience, because you can see people's like
aura. Yeah, you can see all their intentions. They're like written on their face.
I love mushrooms. I hope it becomes legal in every state.
Yeah. I feel like that happens with weed too. I've dated people and then started smoking, and then I'm like, wow, I don't like you at all. But with mushrooms, it's heightened. Like, it's like, please leave right now.
You know what my favorite thing to do is?
What?
Go on mushrooms with Michael and then lock him in a room and fucking dissect him.
Oh, like ask him all the questions.
For hours. I ask him every question. It's literally, if it was like a hobby on MySpace back in the day, that would be one of my hobbies.
Is it because it's hard for him to open up when he's not?
Or because he can't lie on mushrooms?
I think with men in general, women want more from them always.
True.
I'm like that meme, like, how much attention do you need? It's like, I need all of it.
Plus some.
So like with the mushrooms, you're able to like really get in there. Whereas men are like, they're sometimes few words. So that mushrooms is great for that. It's like playing a game of Operation. Remember that game where you like go in with the like the tweezers and get the spleen? Mm-hmm. He's fucked.
I'm gonna make you emotional today. Come here.
Yeah, it's very, very fun.
Well, we agree. We're totally mushroom advocates too. We love. I agree. Like, it's necessary. It's good for depression, anxiety. It really saved me in the COVID situation last year. So
how do you like to do it? Do you like to microdose? Are you like eating chocolate? Are you eating an actual mushroom?
I've done it, all of the above. I like the chocolates. Erica microdosed me in Costa Rica. I must have got the strong microdose that day because I was tripping. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I'm like, oh my God, she gave me a mushroom with my vitamins. So it kind of threw me off. But then I surfed and I was fine. But it just depends like what vibe you're on. If you're gonna try to go all the way deep and cry and shit and try to really figure some shit out, or you're just like walking in the park and need a little extra creativity.
You probably felt better after you surfed because you connected with the earth.
Yeah.
I honestly think that everyone's obviously going through this COVID situation. Everyone needs to connect with the earth. And that sounds so woo-woo, but people don't understand the healing benefits of putting your feet in the sand or the soil or the ocean. There is so many studies if you Google grounding and earthing and what it can do to change your mood. And if you really think about it right now, when is the last time that you actually put your feet to the earth? You've put it to your carpet or wood floor or tile. But when is the last time? Taylor probably has never touched the earth. Taylor's like beating his meat to some porno and you need like an earthing mat underneath your porn setup, Taylor. Like, it's so important
Not an earthing mat.
to put your feet in the sand. And
I think we're also told, like, put shoes on, put your shoes on. Don't go out the house without any shoes, or like, it's so true. And I think I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of like, it hurts. Like, what did I step on? Ow! Like, oh, let me put shoes on. But me and Mila recently went to Costa Rica for 2 weeks, and we were literally just naked pretty much half the time, and without shoes, and just doing everything in nature. And it was something that it reminded me that how important that is, and how important it is for my mental health, and how important it is for my daughter too. And that we're actually going back in about a week and a half, and we're taking our kids. And I'm just so excited because I grew up here in LA, and my daughter's growing up here in LA, and not only is she growing up in LA, she's growing up here in such a strange time with what's happening with the world. And on top of that, just social media, tablets, so much access. Everyone has so much access. There's not a lot of, I think, emphasis on nature at all. And I'm just really excited to ground her ass and bring her out there and take her shoes off and show her. And I think kids innately, they know when they get in that space, because they're so much closer to the source than we are. Like, my daughter's 6 years away from source. I'm like 33. And I feel like when she gets there, at least this is my hope, is that she really understands like why it's so important to create a life where you can do that. And because it's taken me now like 33 years or however long it's been since I've lived on my own to really understand and remember how important that is to me, and how like I do feel so much better near water. I mean, I'm a Scorpio, I'm a water sign, but I feel so much better in water and in nature, and I come back to like earth or here, and I'm just like back to anxiety, back to like
it's like the new generation's church.
You're so
right.
Like, that is such a good example,
like,
especially because of COVID. It made it so everyone's
COVID,
like,
I was like, went to Colorado.
Everyone's like sanctuary. For me, it happened when I was pregnant. I all of a sudden was like, wait, all these buildings, all these phones, all these computers, like, what's going on? And then COVID happened, and I was just like, get me out of here. And that's why we moved to Austin. Like, our house is totally different vibe than it is here. I think you're so right about kids. Someone gave me such a good tip. They said, and I'm going to do this with my daughter, they said garden. Because with gardening, you're touching the soil, you're touching the earth, you're planting the seeds. It's interactive. You can't use your phone.
Right.
And you're growing something, and so you see progress. And they said it's really good for kids to have a garden, and all those elements that we're all talking about come together in that. So I think that a garden is like a cute idea if you have a kid. It's easy and it's cheap. You get some seeds and you go.
Well, it really teaches them just nurturing anything in their life.
We actually had an event last weekend or 2 weekends ago, and in one of the activations, it was for kids, Growchella. It was beautiful, and like Erica and I are witchy bitches, and we're always talking about manifesting, and like we actually had a station where kids were planting their own seeds and like putting like crystals in there, putting their mind to whatever it is that they wanted to manifest, and then like putting soil over it. And then, recently it started to sprout in the window. So I showed Luna when she came home, and I was like, what do you remember what you manifested or what you planted, what your intentions were? And she was like, I wished for butterflies. And it's so crazy because someone had come in from outside, and he brought, it was like one of those things with the butterflies in there, 6 beautiful real butterflies, but he just found it outside. But this is before I showed it to her, and I was like, oh my God, Luna, it happened. You got your butterflies.
Wow.
That is so cute.
But like just planting those little seeds of grounding. I always tell Luna, like, take off your shoes. Me and my grandma tell her like to put her third eye to the tree.
Yeah.
But just like doing things that your kids don't forget their magic, because as adults, like as society, we move away from that. We move away from like our capabilities, and then we have to watch The Secret 47 times to remember. But in reality, like we have the ability to manifest these things. Like even for the new moon, we did some like spells. I tried to like pump her up. Like, we're gonna do some spells. We're gonna take a bath. We're gonna put some potions in, you know, and she's like all witchy because she's a dark Sagittarius and she's like into it. So it's just like grounding and kind of cultivating your own spirituality. You know, like our generation has come so far away from religion. You know, if you're religious, that's great, but like it's fact that most people are more spiritual than they are religious now. And but it's just like not being real. Like I'm not with religion, but I am with spirit and with like God and how we can transfer those things to our children in like alternative ways versus this structured, like, if you sin, you're gonna go to hell, you know. But
it's so true. And I love, again, the moon. That's so earthy and like ground. It's important to show our kids this.
What's your sign?
Gemini.
When's your birthday?
May 21st.
Oh, you're a cuspy like
How
us.
do you guys know like all of this stuff?
Because we're crazy.
All I know is I have 2 personalities, and don't fuck with me, Michael.
Oh yeah, for
also,
sure.
It makes sense that you're a serial entrepreneur, because all my Gemini friends that are, well, men and women, you guys are just like go-getters.
We are?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
We're a month apart. I'm June 22nd, so I'm on the other cusp. You're a Taurus Gemini cusp.
Yes. How do you even know that? Jeez.
We're from LA, duh.
Oh my God.
It's our favorite question.
Wait,
What's your sign?
is your sign Gemini too, or
I'm a Cancer, but I'm on the Gemini cusp, so I do have some Gemini.
so you have fucking 3 personalities?
Yeah, which is
okay,
great.
I love it.
Yep.
Sorry to anyone that dates you.
So do you do. You do too. You're on the cusp, bitch. Bitch, you
I
too.
guess I have. I have 4.
Crazy.
And Tauruses are crazy. My mom's a Taurus, and she will cut my dad at any given time. So Michael, be careful.
Yeah, you better watch out. He's an Aries.
Wait, so how old is your daughter?
She's 1.5.
So I guess you're like a new mom. You're like
I'm a new mom.
You're a new mama. Would you say, like, what is the biggest, I guess, surprise that you've learned in motherhood? Like maybe something that you thought would be one way and now you're realizing is different.
I thought it was going to be easier. Mm-hmm. What I mean by that is I cannot believe how much mom guilt there is. I was the type of person that was not dreaming of when I was going to have kids. I wasn't like super maternal. My husband's actually more maternal than me. When I had the baby, I was like, I'm going to get a nanny, and I want you know this the schedule and the babysitter and like I wanted all the things. And now that I have a baby, I constantly feel guilty. And even if it's just you have to leave for an hour, you feel guilty. Mm-hmm. And I think it's not talked about enough. I think people are like, oh yeah, mom guilt. But like, no, you feel guilty like for even like being on your phone when they're eating breakfast.
Oh, just wait till she tells you to get off your phone.
You're always on your phone, Mom.
Yeah, see, it's like every little thing feels like you're not doing enough. It's never enough. That's with my business. I feel like I can like check a box, but with mom, it's like mommyhood. It's hard because you feel like anything you're doing is not the right thing. So that's been the most surprising thing is how much, one, I don't want a nanny all the time, and 2, I feel guilty when I leave.
Right.
So
I love that, like the idea of being able to check a box on your business and not being able to in motherhood.
No.
I think that's like it's so beautifully put that way. I've never thought about it that way, but it's so accurate.
It's wishy-washy. There's no one to tell you like you're doing it right. There's no set of rules with like finances and business and all these things. There's more of a formula.
Like milestones that you can hit, and you know you're doing a good job.
And then I'll look back and I'll be like, oh my God, I didn't spend every waking second with her when she's a newborn, and she's never going to be a newborn again. So you carry like all this guilt through each stage. It's weird.
Mm-hmm. Do you think dads get
not
guilt?
Not at all. I haven't seen it. I mean, now I don't know if you're a shitty dad. Maybe you have dad guilt.
Hopefully, shit.
But the ones that are
I
good
know.
dads, I don't see the dad guilt like the mom guilt.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I wanted to ask Michael that because some guy that when we were speaking on this panel in Nashville, we were saying that men don't experience dad guilt, and this guy was like, "Fuck that, yes I do," and I was like, I didn't want to like not count his feelings, but
maybe some dads do have dad guilt. I don't know. I don't want to blanket, but I just think it feels different with women Because now we're not, 20 years ago, a lot of people were staying home or whatever. It's different now. We're so multifaceted, I think. And not that we haven't always been, but like we're really multifaceted. You're launching merch, you got your podcast, you guys are doing your trip, you have to be a mom, you have to be a businesswoman, you have to show up on the mic. There's a million fucking things to do. And the dad doesn't feel the same.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
If anybody has a cure to mom guilt, call us.
Is there anything that like your parents maybe, how they raised you that maybe you are choosing to do different with your daughter, or that you think you'll do differently? I know you said that you came from your childhood was very open-minded. I don't know if you were speaking in about your parents allowing you to be open-minded and explore, but is there anything that you feel like you're doing different or you plan to do differently?
One thing that first I have to tell you one thing I like is that my parents raised me in an environment where if you want something, you figure it out. The theme of my childhood was figure it out. Oh, you want that? Go get it. Like it was always me having to figure out like how to get something I wanted. And I think that put me in a really good position later, because now when someone says, oh no, you can't go in the house, all the doors are locked and the windows are locked too, I'm coming down the fucking chimney. Like I'm going to figure out a way to get into the house. And I think they really set me up for that. And then another thing that they did that I think was great was what I mentioned earlier, was not being judgmental. If I could have told my parents I wanted to be anything and there was no judgment. And as I interview really successful people, that's not the case. They were told you have to be a doctor, you have to be a lawyer, you can't pursue entrepreneurship. I think my parents were really good they were entrepreneurs. So I think they were really good at instilling in me that I can do whatever I want if I go work for it and figure it out. So I have to shout out something they did good. Something that I think that I'll do differently. God, that's a good question. I think that I don't know. I feel like I had like a pretty good parents. I think that my mom sometimes maybe hid things from me with what you said earlier, how you're open in front of your daughter. I like that. I like the idea of having sort of an open communication, as opposed to that generation kind of felt like they had to hide things from us. And I don't think that is strategic in the long run.
Right.
I'd like how you smoke weed. Like you just show, this is my life. There's no secrets. It doesn't feel secret energy, if that makes sense.
Well, secrets like make curiosity. So that's what happens. You make
Yes.
curious ass kids when you're like secrets, like have secrets about stuff. I have a question. Like, you and Michael have been together for so long. You're new parents, and obviously you work together. Like, how does that work? Like, first of all, new parenthood is like, being a new parent is hard as fuck. Me and Erica work together and do 400 things together, and it's hard when we're not sleeping together. How do you maintain your relationship, like your entrepreneurship, your parenthood in the same household, and also work together? Is it hard?
It's very, very hard, but this is what I'll say, and you guys can both relate to this probably. It's one of the biggest challenges of my life, but it's the biggest reward. And you'll find that too, as you guys are best friends. Who's better to start an incredible, thriving business with than your best friend or your partner? I think what it comes down to, and this is really important when you're in any kind of partnership, so many times I see marriages where each one of them is pushing a different boulder up a different hill. Michael and I have been very thoughtful and purposeful on pushing the same boulder up the same hill. What happens in marriage is sometimes people are pushing the boulder, it's going separate directions. And I think even with you guys, my advice would be like, what is your 3-month plan? What is your 5-year plan? What is your 10-year plan? And are we both pushing the same boulder up the same hill? It's really important, because some people, may want money for material things, but other people, like what I want money for is autonomy and being able to wake up and do what I want to do and create what I want to create. And I want money for my time. I like things to be convenient and efficient. So I think these conversations are important if you're in a relationship or in business with someone that's your best friend, your sister, your husband.
I think it's also important too, and I would say, even in our relationship, which, you know, sometimes we have to work on balancing, is remembering, like, because you're running a business, it's like the moment you wake up, you're talking about business. Like, your whole
you got to be careful of that.
Becomes the business, and you forget about the relationship.
You got to be careful about that.
Friendship. And I think I'm guilty of that, even in our relationship. Is like, sometimes I'm like, I need to check in with Jamila and like be her friend, because like all we're talking about all the time is like, oh my god, we have this, there's so much shit to get done. It's
You're
like,
more like Michael. I know how to compartmentalize and shut off, and I don't know if that's a good thing all the time. That's not always a good thing. I know how to put it away and tuck it in the box, and he's more like you. Like, but you just have to set boundaries. Like, no, I don't want to talk about QuickBooks and my bank account at 11:30 at night when I'm winding down with my weed mint watching Housewives.
Right.
So now there's no business in the bed. If he wakes up and checks his phone, I'm like, I don't check my phone for 2 hours when I wake up. I think it's seriously, it will change your life if you can wake up tomorrow and not check your phone.
Oh my God, I'll have to wake up at 4 a.m.
I know.
Don't check your phone, because what ends up happening is you're reactive to everyone else. You're not being proactive to work on the things that you want to work on. You're reacting to everyone's to-do list, their text messages, their emails. Then you're sucked into social media, your cousin, sister's, aunt's, friend. It's really distracting in the mornings, I find. And with Michael, like, I'm not asking you to get off for 2 hours, but like when you wake up, like for the first 20 minutes, no phone. So you just start to, like, it's like a dance. You start to learn how that other person dances, and then you create what works around you, if that makes sense.
Right.
So would you say then you have boundaries in your marriage then?
Oh, 100%. You have to have boundaries.
What are they?
Like I said, I don't want to talk about work in the bed. My love language is touch. Get on board or move. I think when we're reading books in bed, it should be a hard book, or else we're just on our phone and our iPads in front of our daughter. Other boundaries, I really try to encourage him, and I try to lead by example, not to check your phone. I will insist in the morning sometimes, and you guys have to try this if you haven't, to do Wim Hof breath work. It's 10 minutes.
What is it?
Yeah,
You'll get high.
What's the method?
I'm going to text you guys what it is.
Okay.
It's Wim Hof breath work on
like
YouTube.
The nostril one?
Nope. You just breathe in and out. You hold the breath. You feel like you're on crack afterwards. It feels amazing.
Someone told us that recently.
It's really, I mean, that's another thing that's changed my life, is just doing 10 minutes of breath. I like it way better than meditation. And you truly get high. Like, I can't explain it. And then right after that, I do a freezing cold 3-minute shower.
Oh my God, I just read about that too. I feel like it's a sign from God.
You got to try it. Everyone's like, I don't have time to do that. But you take a 15-minute shower every day. So actually you have 10 minutes for breath and 3 minutes for a freezing cold shower. That's 15 minutes. So it's like, I'm always about how to optimize time. How can I optimize my life? Instead of taking a shower for 15 minutes and just, it being hot and comforting, it's like, okay, no, let's start my day off on a really positive foot and optimize that 15 minutes. So I try to, like, sprinkle that into his life too.
So do you only take a 3-minute shower, or then do you put the hot water on, or it's just cold?
It's freezing cold for 3 minutes. But here's the thing.
All your showers are cold.
No, not at nighttime. I never take a freezing cold shower. It's always warm. Okay. So I'll do a warm shower to wind down. I think when you do a freezing cold shower for 3 minutes in the morning, there's nothing that's hard the rest of the day.
Wow.
Right?
That's true.
So guess what it does? It builds your mental toughness. And who taught me this? I got to credit them, Tony Robbins. Like, you're building that muscle of, like, okay, it's making you tough for the rest of the day, because it's freezing and it's horrible.
Waking you the fuck up.
And it never gets easier. And you mentally have to be like, okay, I just have to do this. And you feel so good afterwards.
It's kind of primitive too, right? Like, just like walking naked, like being naked or grounding. It's just like going back to the beginnings. I also agree with you. Like, breath work for meditation works best for me because I have serious ADD. So like, or even like chanting, I do that as like a visualization or a meditation, because as long as I'm doing something in the meditation, I can stay awake. But if I'm just sitting up trying to meditate, my ass will fall asleep. Like, I'm tired. But if I'm doing, like, if I'm dancing and I'm meditating, if I'm breathing, if I'm meditating, if I'm chanting and I'm meditating, then I can be focused on the one thing and like not think about anything else. But it's hard for me to I'll just lay down and go to sleep if I'm just quietly meditating. I have to work on that.
I feel like you, after talking to you, you're really going to like breath work. You seem like you like a lot of spiritual, holistic, like, I think that you'll really like it.
I also like to moan when I breathe. Have
Yeah,
you
it's
tried
good.
it? Like,
The only time I've tried is during sex, but I got to try it during my breath
well, that's
work.
the thing. We reserve moaning for sex, but like bringing joy and pleasure to other things. Like, try it with me, Lauren.
Taylor, get your penis out of here.
There he is. Taylor wants to do it.
Taylor
too.
wants to join.
Taylor, join in. He's moaning back there.
I have a movement. It's called Mila Moans.
I love it. You never know what Taylor's doing behind there. You never know what he's watching, even though there's a reflection and I can see it and he doesn't know that.
I mean, there's so many ways to reach peace and
Yes.
like I told you, I was working on your show. You guys go check out our episode with them, but about just rituals and routines is not my strong point, but I am looking to commit to myself more in that way for like the next 6 to 12 months. And I feel like the cold showers and the breath work, I'm taking that for
Here's
sure.
the thing. Don't be overwhelmed because people will look at the morning routine that I've created over the last 10 years.
Wait, can you tell me the full morning routine?
Yeah, it's psycho, but it's one thing at a time. You know, it's just little things like just change not going on your phone for 20 minutes. Easy. Just change instead of a warm shower. Let's start slow, do warm, and then do 2 minutes of cold or a minute of cold. Just make little tiny changes. I think they add up.
Absolutely.
I need to know your morning routine.
It's really crazy.
Can't
The
wait.
audience is going to be like,
Well, I see you here with like 4 vitamins in front of you.
I know.
5.
I try to squeeze it in where I can. Now, before I was a mother, it was like even more crazier. But now that I'm a mother, I think I try to wake up at 7 the same time every single day. I'm a huge fan of sleep. I'm not one of those people or entrepreneurs that's like no sleep. Like I like 9 hours. Like I want to be in bed early. 9 hours of sleep, maybe 8. And the second I wake up, I do this thing called light movement hydration. And everyone can do this. You open the shades so the light comes in, which is really important to your circadian rhythm. And then you move. So what we typically do is we'll go take a walk with the baby. And while I'm moving, I'll hydrate. So it's such an easy tip is like having a huge hydro flask by your bed, putting lemon and mint in it, and you wake up, it's still freezing cold. So you have your hydration, you're hydrating, and then I come back and I try to do the breath work, the freezing cold shower. If I have time, I'll try to, write down what I'm grateful for. I think that can change your mindset. I don't always have time to do that. Still have not checked my phone. And then I make the bed, and instead of looking at my phone as I make the bed, I just decided, okay, how can I use this as an opportunity to learn? And so I think that's turn on a podcast, turn on an Audible. I think in the morning too, you should be intuitive on what you're consuming. So like, I don't want to start the day off with a gossip podcast. I don't want to end the night, by the way, I love Gary Vee, but his energy is really high. You want to maybe wind it down different. I think you need to pay attention to where your energy levels are and adjust around that with the podcast. So the only time I really would touch my phone is to turn on the podcast. I think just not touching the phone is so beneficial though. But that's probably my morning routine. Maybe it's not as psycho.
No, it's not psycho. That makes sense
It's
to
just
me.
when I can set the foundation of my day, I have a better day. I just
the tone.
set the tone.
It's crucial. I know I go in and out of routine, and when I'm in routine, I feel the best. And I don't know why it's so hard to it's like working out. It's like, why is it so hard to take care of yourself? Because it feels good. But then like not taking care of yourself also feels good sometimes. And then until it doesn't.
Until it doesn't.
And then you're like back to square fucking one. You gotta start all over again.
We've definitely all been in a place where you let someone else set the tone for your day and you're like pissed for hours and you're like, how the fuck did that just happen? I just woke up. So I agree that the tone setting is important for the full 24 hours.
Yeah, I think like not letting anyone dictate the tone of your day besides yourself. I feel like it's taking control. And I don't care if it takes me an hour to be my best self for the whole day. I'll do that. And there's ways to work around things with the baby, or kids. Like you can get very creative. When someone tells me they don't have time, I think there's ways to work around it.
There absolutely is. I think when people say that, it's just they don't want to find a solution.
Yeah, and then they're scrolling through social media for 4 hours.
Or you can wake up earlier then.
Yeah. Or go to bed earlier, or go to bed earlier, or just little things that you can add, little habits make the biggest difference. grounding your feet outside, walking outside, having your coffee outside instead of inside. There's little tiny hacks that you can do all day. This is like going off on a tangent, but I even take my conference calls on 1 day a week, and that day I'm walking. So I'm able to at least be outside and walk on the calls. Like, instead of sitting in front, I don't like video. I won't do video Zoom. I just want to talk on the phone so I can walk, I can move. I think when you make those little tweaks, it does make a big difference over time.
Right. Okay. I have one more question. What is the biggest, like the best advice that you've gotten in motherhood, and then what is the best advice you've gotten in business?
Motherhood, I did not Google one thing when I got pregnant.
Oh, good.
Not one. I didn't look at Pinterest. I didn't text a friend. I didn't read anything about it. I just trusted myself. And I think that has helped me keep my blinders on. For instance, I'll give you an example. There's 6,000 ways to feed a baby. There's like baby-led weaning and like all this fucking shit that they make up. Or like you can feed like formula or whatever. I just did what worked for me. And what that was anything I was eating, she ate. And that's what worked. And I don't know if that's like proper or whatever. I just did what worked for me. So my advice would be, don't listen to advice. Do what works for you. When it comes to running a business, I think that it's like baking a cake. There is so many different ingredients in the cake. There is consistency, discipline, patience. Patience is a big one. There's quality content. There's all different kinds of things, and you have to make sure that you're constantly sort of nurturing each of those areas. I think it's important. It's not a one size fits all. There's no secret formula. But I think if you can wake up every day and do one thing, I do this every night when I lay my head down on the pillow and think, what is one thing I did to move the needle closer towards my goal? And it can be as little as I did a giveaway for my followers that engaged them and, deepened our relationship, whatever it is. That makes me happy. And I think that's how I've grown the business. There's been no epiphany. It's not been overnight. I've not gone viral. It's not a huge deal that I got. It's been just laying my head down every night and being like, okay, I did this little thing. I did this little thing. I approved a merch design. Just little things that take you closer towards the goal. That's how I think you build a long-term business, because it's not short-term and we don't want it to be short-term.
No, I'm so glad you said that too, because actually me and Mila were working yesterday, and when I left, she was like, did we get anything done?
I'm like, we did good today, right? We did
get
stuff.
Anything done? And I was like, as you asked me that question, and I said, I think, yeah, there's still so much to be done. And then I got in the car, and I literally thought about all the shit we did yesterday. And I was like, we did so much shit. Like, we designed like 3 merch items. We did so many. We approved like a box. We did so many things. We had a meeting about our retreat. We did like at least 10 things. And the fact that I even hesitated to wonder if I had done anything was absolutely nuts. And I was like, wow, I'm fucking crazy. And I really have to learn how to just celebrate the small wins and not like look for these major, huge shifts that I guess identify as like, I did a lot today. Like, it's just,
there's always shit to be done.
Yeah, there's always shit to be done. It never ends. It doesn't matter. There's always something to do. But you guys are doing a great job.
Thank you. So are you. You're doing an amazing job.
Thank you.
I really like how you have a community style, even in a beauty brand. Like you're asking your audience, you're asking your customer, what do you think we should do? I think that's super unique, and like people miss that. People want to be involved in the process. People want to know what's going on, and I mean us too. We've it's a community effort. It's not just us, because obviously we make the decisions, but we've created this space for people to feel welcome, like, please come sit with us, we want you here. So I think like that's pretty cool, and just like being present in it, because like you said, sometimes I'm sure you look back and when you were 20 blogging, and you're like, damn, never did I imagine I'd be sitting in this studio overlooking West Hollywood and my own shit. But like just being grateful for every step of the way. And we got some good advice at the podcast movement, or I think from Twyla, and what she said was like, you know, people struggle with figuring out their thing. What's your thing? Like your whole fucking 20s and sometimes your 30s is like, oh God, like, am I going to be successful at the thing? What is the thing that I love to do? But, you know, when it comes to the thing, when you find it, your passion, your purpose, you won't give a fuck if it takes 3 years until you make any money, because
bingo. That's the unlock. That's the secret formula.
You'll know it's your thing.
You don't give a fuck if you don't make money, because you know the money will come because you're doing what you love to create.
Yep, and you're like, only I can do this.
That's the
thing.
unlock. That
is. It's like when you sleep, eat, and shit that thing. When you go to sleep thinking about it and you wake up thinking about it, that's when you're on your way. You know, even if it takes 5 years, even if it takes 3 years, the consistency and like I know without a doubt that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. The money is gonna come. That's the thing. Like I know the money's gonna come. You know, even when the money wasn't coming at all, I'm like, the money's coming. I don't know when or from who, but it's coming. You know, there's no question, because we were so clear about what it is that we were starting and the community that we were like creating. And so I just think, yeah, that's really good advice.
You guys gave great advice on our podcast too. You guys got to go listen to them.
Please.
Yep.
Can you tell our people where to find you?
At Lauryn Bosstick, at The Skinny Confidential for product. We just launched an ice roller and an oil.
So your product, I love your packaging. I'm a packaging. Like,
thank you. That means actually a lot coming from you.
Yeah, well, it's based because of my mom. My mom is obsessed with packaging, and so now I'm obsessed with packaging, and
it's important. It's important. That's very, very nice. I'm so happy that you guys like it. And my book is on Amazon. Get the fuck out of the sun. It's skincare tips and tricks from 100 of the top tier influencers, podcasters, celebrities, doctors, everything, and a bunch of my tips and tricks.
Wow, I'm so excited. I'm so inspired by you.
You guys get a book.
You have we do?
Yeah, and I'm going to send you vibrators.
Yes, I'm like, this bitch has a book. She got a podcast. She got a vibrator.
It's been 13 years.
Oh my God, all my shit is going to be pink and it's going to look super cute. I'm going to set all my shit up in one corner.
I called Erica this morning.
The beauty blender's in here.
It is?
Yes.
Oh.
I was like, Erica, are you wearing pink today? Because you know her favorite color is pink. And then I started looking through my closet. I'm like, damn, I don't even have anything.
You know what's funny? For my business, not for my home or my clothes.
Oh, because you probably pinked out at the business.
I'm pinked out.
You're like, no more pink.
The beauty blender is in here a lot. I can't believe I didn't tell your mom that. You should tell her.
Don't worry.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.
You guys are both amazing. I can't wait to re-listen to your threesome episode.
All right, you guys, you know where to find us at goodmoms_bad_choices on Instagram. And make sure you go rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, because reviews matter. And you can watch this episode on Patreon. That's patreon.com/goodmomsbadchoices. If you are in your city, you're lonely, looking for a mom, a woman, a tribe, anything, make sure you join our Patreon. We will connect you to our Slack community, where we have hundreds of women ready to meet up with you guys and connect. We talk with you guys every single day on there, and we share a lot of funny shit over there. There is some funny shit happening.
There is. Like imagine our stories times 100.
Yeah, there's a lot of like dating photos, app photos, naked photos. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.